All right, after absolutely messing with my camera for like the last 30 minutes, I'm finally making this video. Welcome back to the channel. It's your host, the smoothest fingers in the gaming industry. Hey man, what have I been doing this like whole year? Usually at the end of the year, I make like my favorite videos, you know, a top 10 game list. I have been doing absolutely nothing on this YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it to you guys. It's definitely not something that I have had at the forefront of my experience, and I'm going to be honest with you, that is definitely going to be changing. However, it's going to be changing in a different way. If you guys aren't familiar with the channel, I want to come by and say I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to the year. Last year was a rough year. I mean, for some people it was rough, some people it was crazy rough, but no matter what, on the economy as a whole, on the just living in general, you know, it's not always perfect. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat and come on here and tell you guys, oh, I'm the most positive person ever. I am in a very great mindset. I want to stay in a great mindset. I want to continue to be grateful and blessed, and that's where this channel is going for. And before we get into all this quote unquote drama that's happening, I wanted to come out and say something positive. I wanted to come out and say, even though it was a rough year, we're in a new year. This is a new way. This is a new path forward. And we're going to take the optimistic approach and try to be as gracious as possible when we're talking about these things. So 2023 is up to a crazy start. It really is. It's been wild from almost everything you can think of. People in the NBA are dropping like 60 points left and right. We have people out here doing the randomest stuff. We have crypto scams. We have FaZe going through crazy stuff. We have game delays. Ubisoft saying they're facing a recession. We have a lot of things. We have Valorant not knowing what's going on with competitive, and Apex servers don't work, even though they gave us like half of a private match. It's not even a full private match, actual thing. Like you can't just load up by yourself and play in a fucking map. No, you can't do that anymore, man. It's hard to do. It's too hard to do from the same people or the same company, not the same people that gave you Titanfall. So hard to do. But again, with all that being said, it is absolutely crazy how 2023 has started. I have to say that. It is nuts to see how many things that not necessarily are wrong. I don't think that all of these things are problems and issues that are going to break the gaming community or shift the gaming community too crazy, but there is a paradigm shift. And a paradigm shift doesn't happen most of the time with a snap of a finger or somebody speaking the universe into existence. You see what I did there? You see what I did there. Most of the time, it's gradual. You see it come after step by step. It's a day by day process. It's just that so many people are usually quote unquote sleeping and moving through their lives kind of on a subconscious, unconscious level, that when something happens, they're like, how did I not see this coming? Well, of course, if you pay attention to the trends of things, then you will know what's going on. And so begins the topic of what I'm going to discuss today, and that is obviously my expertise and what I study, which is the gaming community, esports community, and pretty much, you know, that type of paradigm and that reality in general. So today, my first inquiry and my first discussion that we're going to bring up is the craziest one of all, and that is the one of pretty much FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan growing up for me was something that was, you know, the pride and joy of doing things. I have met so many of the FaZe guys at Call of Duty LANs. I have talked to them multiple times. Some of them were in the same trick shotting team with me. As you guys know, right now I am in Psycho. Psycho was and still pretty much is, but obviously, you know, we're working on getting that back up and running and getting some things taken care of, which is what I will talk about later. But Psycho, Sword, Dare, you know, these were the teams that FaZe would come and get players from back in the day when people were trick shotting and stuff of that nature, and they still do for the most part. What I wanted to talk about was a lot of this FaZe drama, quote unquote, that's happening is not unfortunate to see. I won't say that. I think a lot of the things you're starting to see get unveiled have been things that have been long overdue. But I'm always trying to root for the success of FaZe because of how much impact that they've had on me and how much impact that they've had on, you know, the community as a whole. I get nothing from watching my favorite content creator, FaZe Jev, seeing him in a team that's failing. I don't think he deserves that. I think he deserves to be somebody who's great, appreciated, and one of the greatest content creators to ever live in Call of Duty. He is literally probably the best Call of Duty player, in my opinion, in terms of, you know, consistency, montages, dedication, commitment, continuality, if that's a word, continuality. So I don't get anything from that. FaZe Snipedown's another guy that, you know, I've had some run-ins with him in Halo and stuff of that nature. He is a nice guy, Apex as well. He is one of the best guys that I've ever met, and I really do enjoy these human beings, and I really do like them. I like them. I watch them all the time, you know? So I don't get anything for rooting for FaZe to ever be disbanded or go down. However, what it is that we've had this paradigm that I have spoke about hundreds and thousands of times, if not, that needs to change in the gaming community. The way these organizations are being run is it's no longer by the people who built the community from the get-go. The Hexes, the Tempers, I'll go on and on, the Hutches and all those stuff, the people at Machinima and stuff, the people whose dreams it was to see these out. And it's not, and I don't want to say that it's their fault, that this is what's happening is their fault. I'm saying that what it started on, the core idea and beliefs, and the people who instilled those core ideas and beliefs in the gaming industry are no longer either present or have as much of a say-so, or have also given up a little bit to get a little more. What I mean by that is you guys have to understand that everything in this world is quote unquote a business, okay? We're not in it to work for free. When we were doing this gaming thing, it's because we had a dream that low key, we did it to cultivate a generation and to, prop up a generation and to help them and to really make this a reality that we could live our dreams and play video games for a living. But it was also to make sure that we got income. I mean, I don't think you guys understand, and even me right now, but when they were coming up and doing their stuff, that they didn't make a lot of money doing this. Like, it wasn't like they were, always doing this, always getting a lot of money. It's not how it started. They had a dream, they had a passion, and they laid the brick by brick by brick. I like that. You see that shit? Hey, somebody tag Hex, man. Shit. Hey. All right. All my excitement's getting ahead of me, but that's what we started doing. And so to see this paradigm shift gradually continue to grow into pretty much what started being about how to play the game and the enjoyment we had in playing the game and inspiring people to chase their dreams, it started turning into pretty much how much money year over year does my pocketbooks fit. And you get the trend that goes there. It turned into greed. It's pretty much. But I've always told people that greed isn't the biggest problem with humanity. It's pretty much the envy. It's always been envy. And I say that loosely because, me and Envy Hastro, I love me some Envy boys too as well. But it's the word envy in the aspect of actual envy. People envy what the other man has. It's that simple. And so in this universe, in this world, when it's governed by something, a plague, that is envy, we don't see people just get greedy just for the sake of greed. It happens, but not very often. What we tend to see is people envy what other people have. And when this gaming community started being able to be independent, free of thinking, free of talking, free of moderation, the people at the top of the totem pole, the people who run the pyramids, who run the governments, the secret societies, all that shit, and you guys know what I'm talking about, they ain't gonna stand for that shit. So now that you're starting to see this community starting to get taken over by greed, envy, and not only just those mentalities, but the powers that be, wink, wink, you're going to start seeing those things happen. And that's what my channel has been about for the last few years. It's changing that, but it started on a ground level of just content. I was tired of seeing people on YouTube, do the same stuff. So I came out, try to do things a little bit differently. Obviously, I'm going to follow some certain trends, right? There's nothing wrong with seeing a trend and making it your own. There's nothing ever wrong with that, but I still want to inspire my own trends and do my own thing. And so now that I have gone to extreme lengths to do this, whereas I started off, playing the games and making content and trying to be a pro player, being a pro player some of the time, teetering on that line, I really gained a lot of experience that I was then able to transfer into coaching and then teaching on the YouTube channels about how video games impact my life and how we can get something out of them. So now I got to make some decisions and I got to talk about the hard stuff and tell you guys how it's going to go, because that's what's about to happen this year. This year is no more going to be about what's been happening and these trends that you've seen. You see these video games and these people bringing video games and they're like half-baked. No, this stuff is going to change. All right. You see people starting to do it. You have the Dr. Disrespects. You have people speaking about it. There has never been a time in gaming industry since I've been around, and I've been around since 2006 competitively, and I've been playing games since 2003-ish, 2002-ish. Okay. Since I can remember pretty much. There has never been a time where people spoke out about half-baked games like they did today. It's that simple. Even the Call of Duty community, which you guys know I'm very critical of, is speaking out. So when this starts to happen, there's something going to change on the horizon. And I'm telling you guys, not only is it just the video games, if the video games have to change, and the people who are playing them also have to change and adapt. We're seeing a huge paradigm shift across the landscape, and that's what we're at the forefront of. That's what I'm at the forefront of, and that's why this YouTube channel has been pretty inactive. I am working on stuff that is absolutely going to shift the way we see the video game genre going and the way teams are ran in general. They are being ran into the ground. You're seeing them start to collapse, not just from a monetary sense, not from a stock exchange sense, not from an economic sense. Those will always come, but before an economic shift can happen, an idea shift and a paradigm has to go first. And now that we're seeing this stuff take place, which I've been saying for years, go look at some of these videos that I've made, go look at how I've talked about these games. I knew that this was going to happen eventually. To see it start to happen, it is what it is. Now, again, the people who have built their foundation and the teams who have built their foundation, the games and all of that, they will succeed. Just remember, the greatness of an object, a person, or an entity is not just what they do when they're successful. It's what they do when they face challenges and when they face tribulation. When you see that, when people handle pressure and they come up and they rise to the occasion, when all of it is on them, you'll see them become a diamond. But right now there's pressure. We're starting to see never before sweeping investors coming in. People wanting to put more money into esports than ever before. But we're seeing the people who didn't have the infrastructure, didn't have the process, didn't have the understanding, and didn't have the love for actual esports and understanding, wisdom, whatever of it, we're starting to see that collapse. And so at the start of 2023, it's been crazy. Esports has been all over the place. There's articles every day about some team dropping out of either Apex or Valorant. Nobody even knows what's really going on in Valorant, which is a different topic for a different day in terms of, competitive. Will it really work? Will it not? You have Apex Legends, which is wanting to host the same event all the time in London. That's becoming a crazy story, and they the servers still are an issue. We have a lot of things of that nature, but when you need it most, when you need the games, and not only the games, but when you need a paradigm shift and you pray for it, it's going to happen. And so this year, I'm telling you, it's exactly what's going to happen. Not on a scale that's going to look like success. Think of your brain and your life and the paradigm and what you work in as a garden. If you did not tend to your garden, when winter comes, the trees are not going to grow back with leaves. There's going to be no fruit in the ground if you don't plant the seeds. It's not going to happen. When winter comes, you're going to be screwed. You're not going to be eaten. And so now that winter is starting to come, Game of Thrones reference. Now these things are starting to happen. Those who planted the good seeds are going to be there. And those who are not are going to be the chaff. And they're going to be gone. And they're going to be burnt up. So we're starting to see that. And I really want to come out and, say that, man, what I got to do? Zaguru got to come out here and tell you guys what's happening, what's going on. And that's just what I'm seeing. 2023 is off to a start that I was like, okay, I didn't think it was going to be this fast, but clearly time is speeding up. And that's what's going on. So let's stay positive, right? Let's give our prayers out to the FaZe clans and everything going on with these teams. My goal is never on this channel to go on somebody's downpour or the stuff that FaZe has going on with FaZe Rain or G2's got going on with their ex-owner and stuff. That's never my goal, or anybody else's YouTube channel that's crashing. Logan Paul's stuff is just on a straight downward spiral with the crypto he's going, and the stuff that Jake's got going, Jake Paul's happening. I'm not here to do that. I don't count another man's chickens. I don't want to shit on anybody else's dreams. Lord knows that I still have a dream and want to accomplish mine, and still am accomplishing mine. So I never want that to happen. My goal is to focus on the reality of the situation and how we can use the reality of the situation to learn from our mistakes and my mistakes, and then grow as an individual. But at the same time, I love the passion and the drive that waking up on a different day and waking up on a new year, a new month gets me. It's another chance, continue to get better, continue to grow. And so I want to inspire that and make sure that we continue to keep that at the forefront of our thoughts and our prayers going into this new year. So blessings, God bless. Go check out the Psycho channel. I joined Psycho a while back. You guys probably don't know because I didn't really talk much about it, but if you follow me on Twitter and all the other things, you will have known that. So go check out Psycho. Some of my content will be up there. You'll see some podcasts and stuff from me start to blow up over there. So it is what it is. We're making some stuff. We got some games we want to talk about, some Starfield news, some other games, a new YouTube series I'm working on that'll actually, that I'm actually happy and really going to be consistent about. I've already got some videos ready for it, and we got some reviews that I need to catch up on. So let's do it. Stay blessed. Bless up. As always, God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next one.